Hello, everybody. Edmund from Innovative Solutions here. Today, we're going to show you guys how to use and set up the Communicator GO app. Let's get into it. So when you download it for the first time, you're going to go ahead and click on it, and it's going to ask you to allow notifications. You're going to want to allow notifications so you know when somebody's calling, sending you a chat or an SMS message. Now, for the very first time when you log in, you're going to use the QR code that we emailed you. So you're going to click on the scan QR code icon at the bottom center. It's going to ask you to allow it to use the camera. You're going to click allow. You're going to go ahead and scan the QR code. It's automatically going to populate the information. Click in log in. And now it's going to ask you to change that password. So go ahead and change the password. You guys can't see my keyboard, but I am typing. And you're going to want numbers and letters and at least one special character. Then click on Done at the bottom. It's going to register. Sometimes it takes a couple seconds, but it gets there. And it's going to ask you to use the microphone. Go ahead and click Allow. Now it's asking if it could access your contacts. You don't need to allow it to access your contacts. However, I recommend it. So I'm going to click on Continue. And you have an option to share all your contacts by clicking the bottom button, or you could just select certain contacts. I'm going to go ahead and share all my contacts. All right, that's the basic setup. Now we're ready to get into using the phone. Okay, this is the main dialing screen. This is the screen that you're going to make all your phone calls from. Now, in the top right-hand corner, you're going to see your most recent phone calls. So if you push on that button, it's going to show you all your most recent phone calls. Now, if you want to delete this list, you're going to click on the three dots at the top right, and you're simply going to click on Clear All. It's going to ask you if you want to delete them. You're going to click on Delete, and it's going to delete all your recents. We're going to go ahead and push on the back button in the top left now, and go back to the screen. Now, to make a phone call, you're simply going to type the number in. Now, something that's pretty cool is that if the number is not in your database, this icon to the left is going to appear, and you can actually click on this and you could create a new contact directly from here. You could also send them an SMS message or share the contact with somebody or add to an existing contact or share your location. Very similar to how you would on your iPhone. I'm assuming on the Android it's going to be very similar. I'm going to click on the back button. Now, to the right of it, of the number, you have your SMS. So if you click on the green icon to the right of the phone number, you're able to send an SMS directly from here as well. So to make a phone call, you're going to go ahead and press on the green button. And now this is the screen you'll see when you're making a phone call. From here, we're able to mute the phone call so that way the person cannot hear us, but we could hear them. We could select different Bluetooth devices. We can also put them on hold. Then we have the dial pad. If we need to dial an extension, we could add somebody to this call by inviting them, and then we have different options. Now, with the options, we got the transfer the call but option and the switch devices. So if we need to transfer the call to a different employee, we go ahead and transfer the call to their extension, or we could switch devices and switch the call to our laptop or our desk phone, which is really cool. And we're going to go ahead and end the phone call. And as soon as we end the phone call, we'll be back at our normal screen where we see the dial pad. All right, the next icon we have is the directory icon. If you click on that, it's going to show you on the first tab at the top left-hand side, directory. The next one is contacts. That's going to be your contacts on your iPhone and then your favorites. The directory is going to be simply people within the organization that have an extension. If you click on one of the extensions, you'll be able to create a chat. Now, this is going to be a chat that's for internal employees only. This is not chatting with people outside the organization. This is simply messaging within the organization. You could also send them an email. You could send them a voicemail. You could add them or remove them from your favorites list. And you could also call their extension from here. I'm going to hit the back button in the top left. The next one is contacts. So in contacts, this is going to be your local phone book that is inside or on your iPhone or Android device. And then the last tab at the top is favorites. This is where you add your favorites. So if you come over here, click on one of the extensions, add to your favorites, hit the back button, come to favorites, you can see that they're there. You could also add favorites from your local address book at the favorites, and that's going to be in here as well. All right, the next icon I want to cover is chats. It's the center button at the bottom. We're going to go ahead and click on that. Now, this is chatting with people inside the organization only. As a client of Innovative Solutions, every extension gets chatting for free. However, you do need a license for the mobile app or for the desktop app in order to chat with people within the organization. Now, over here, you're going to see all the current chats that are available. If you need to delete one, you can simply push and hold. It's going to give you these options to pin the chat, which if you have lots of chats, you could pin it so it stays at the top. You can mute notifications from this chat. You can mark it as unread, which what I just did. And you could also delete it. Now I'm going to mark this other message as unread. Because something that's cool, if let's say you've already been made aware of what the chats were about and you don't want to go in and read everything, if you click the three dots at the top right, you have an option to mark all as read. It's going to ask you, are you sure you want to mark all as read? You click on OK, and it's going to mark all your conversations as read. Now, to start a new chat, you're going to push on the plus sign at the bottom right. From here, you'll select the person you want to chat with, and then click on the Start Chat button at the bottom. And then in here, you'll simply text as you would any other text messaging application. Cool thing is that you could start a phone call from here by pushing on the receiver at the right of the name. You could also push the three dots all the way to the right, and you could get info. You could ask for attention. So if you need the person's attention, you could push on that and it'll give them a notification on their desktop app or on their mobile app. And you could also see media and files that have been sent to this particular conversation. We're going to click on info right now. And in here, you're able to organize a meeting. If you guys have conferencing enabled as well, you can organize a meeting directly from here. Again, you can see the media and files, and it also shows you the participants, and you have the option to add additional participants or to delete the chat. I'm going to click on back and then back again. And that's pretty much chatting within the organization. All right, so the next icon is conferences. We can do video conferencing much like Zoom and Microsoft Teams. However, that's going to be a separate video. For now, I want to go ahead and jump to SMS. So if you click on the More button in the bottom right, it's going to show you several other options that we can do. So you're going to see SMS in the middle. You're going to go ahead and click on SMS. And here it's going to show you all your current conversations. In the bottom right, you got a plus sign to start a new conversation. You can start conversations with people within your organization to their mobile device instead of their extension. Or you could hit the contacts. This will be contacts within your mobile phone. And if the person that you need to message is not in your mobile phone directory or in your work directory, you click on the button in the top right-hand corner, the receiver with the 123, and then type in the number, click on add, and it'll start a new conversation with them. Everything else here is very similar to the chat application as well. All right, let's back out of here and go back to the main menu. Now in here, we're going to see the dashboard, profile, voicemail, covered SMS already, meetings, settings, and quit. Let's go to the dashboard first. All right, so here in the dashboard, you could basically get a rundown of everything going on within this app. It shows me that I've made 11 calls today. I've answered two of them. I've spent a total of 56 minutes talking. It shows my recent calls. If you click on show all, it'll show all your recent calls. I obviously deleted them. You also have quick actions. You can start a conference from here. Like I mentioned earlier, we do video conferencing. You can start a new chat with somebody within the organization. You could start an SMS message with somebody outside the organization. You could also join a meeting if somebody within your organization has set up a meeting. You could also do an instant meeting if you want to set up a meeting with somebody. And you could also schedule a meeting. You're also able to set up meeting and conferences with people outside of the organization. They just need to download the app and use it through there. Down here, we got call options, we got callback, call forwarding, caller ID, and voicemail. And I'll go through those a little bit more later. And then we've got your favorites. And then we could also submit feedback from here. All right, so let's talk about the first option under call options. That's callback. So a callback number is a number that you let the system know to reach you at if the system needs to call you. Now, why would the system need to call you? Let's say, for example, you're out in the woods, you're at a cabin, an Airbnb, or whatever it might be. You've got access to a landline that has a solid signal, but your data on your cell phone is pretty sketchy. So you don't want to try to use the app if you have sketchy data. You want to use a landline. So what we can do is we could put in the landline telephone number into your callback feature. And when we make a phone call, we'll make the phone call using the callback feature. And the Innovative Solutions system is going to call you at that landline first. Once you pick up that landline, it will then initiate the phone call to the person you're trying to call, making the phone call look like you're calling from the office, which is a pretty cool feature. All right, so how do we add another number? So if you click on that box under call options called call back, I already have a number in here, and this is my mobile number. So if I'm in a sketchy area and I don't have good data, a lot of times I'll have good cellular for voice calls. I'll initiate a call back to my mobile number, and I'll take the phone call through my mobile number using the callback feature. However, let's say I'm at a cabin, I want to add the number from the cabin there. You're going to click on the three dots at the top right. You're going to say add number. You're going to put a label, then you can put a number, and then you're going to click on add. It's going to add that number there. Now, if you want to use that number, you're going to click on that button, or you're going to click on the radio button to the right of the number. It's going to ask you if that's what you want to use. You're going to click on OK. You have a feature to always use the callback number. So let's say you're going to be at the cabin for, several days. You go ahead and turn on that feature. But let's say you only want to make one phone call using that feature. Let's click on the back button, and we're going to go to the dial pad, and we're going to dial a number. And instead of just pushing real quick the green button, we're going to push and hold the green button. And it's going to ask if you want to use the callback feature. And once you confirm it, you're going to get a phone call from our system to that landline. Once you pick up that landline, it's then going to go ahead and connect the call to the person that you're trying to reach, making it look like you're calling from your work number. I'm going to go ahead and cancel it here. And that is basically callback. If you guys have more questions about that, please don't hesitate to reach out to tech support and we'll go ahead and help you out with that. All right, so the next box is call forwarding. So let's say you're going to be at that cabin for a few days. You want people to be able to reach you on your mobile phone still. You could simply forward all the phone calls to that particular number, the landline that you know works well. You're going to go ahead and click on the box. You're going to type in a phone number here, and then you're going to simply click on apply. It's pretty straightforward. You can enable and disable it as you need. And if you have any other questions on that as well, please don't hesitate to reach out to tech support. All right, the next call option we have is caller ID. This allows you to change the phone number that it looks like you're calling from. So if you have multiple locations, you can have all the phone numbers as your caller ID options, which the administrator needs to set that up for you. And you click on caller ID and select a different number, click on apply. It's going to ask you if you want it to apply just once, or if you want it to apply all the time, or if you want it to cancel. I'm going to select always. And now until you change it, it's going to show the caller ID or the number that you're calling from as the number that you've selected here. Okay, the next option is voicemail. So if you click on voicemail, this is like visual voicemail on your iPhone. You'll be able to see a list of all the voicemails that have been left and select the one you want to listen to. You got the tabs at the top, new and archive. In archive is going to be anything that you've deleted, and it's pretty much going to work the same way as your iPhone. Let's go back. And that's your dashboard. For the most part, that's everything that you need to know about the dashboard. So let's go back to the main screen. All right, so something cool that we could do from here is we could edit this screen so we could put the icons that we use the most at the bottom. So let's say you use the dashboard and SMS quite a bit and you don't really use chats or conference. You can simply click on the edit button. You go ahead and drag the dashboard down and then the SMS down and then click on done. And now you've got the dashboard and the SMS at the very bottom of the screen. So that's pretty helpful. Well, you guys, this is a basic overview of our app. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to technical support. If you guys found this video looking for a new provider for VoIP telephone service, please give us a call. We're available at 678-470-VoIP. Once again, that's 678-470-VoIP, or you can reach us at our website, www.invatv.com. Once again, this is Edmund with Innovative Solutions. Thanks for joining us. Bye.